Is Sunday at 5 good?
Sunday at 5 is good. And
Yeah, Sundays and Wednesdays at 5 are probably the best time.
all right.
Like today was fine at midday.
Yeah.
But,
No,
yeah.
no, I'm sorry.
And
No.
then we can do any other necessary calls between that if something comes up.
Good. I'm sorry that I misread the time today. It should have been 5 o'clock instead of noon.
It wasn't. It was perfectly fine. Nothing wrong came of it.
Okay, good. On the video, you will see that the mushroom. You remember the mushroom that was coming up and it had little tubes that looked like castle turrets?
Yeah.
Okay, well, another big mushroom came out on top of that.
Oh, cool.
And went over it, and it was 3-petaled. It was 3 petals. 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
And it was growing wonderfully. And you'll see a picture of it. And it was doing beautifully. And the next day I went out, somebody ate it.
Well, as long as it was there for a couple of days, I'm sure it released its spores, and it's all fine.
Well, no, I think it was too young, honey. It didn't. And the other one is still hanging there and turning black, you know, that other one, the one that made it. But anyway, you will see videos of them when you go through the footage that I sent you.
Okay, I'll see them in the next couple of days.
Okay, Austin, well, I enjoyed the talk. And may the Lord be with you, dear.
All right, thank you very much.
And all you love. All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye. Have a good night.
You too, bye.
We can't afford to do the work in there just to jeopardize any chance of us making them do their job.
Is Dave going to direct a letter to?
I asked Dave to review section 46 and provide his interpretation of what it meant versus what DOT believes it says.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer from Dave yet. I'll follow up.
Well, we should, definitely petitions like that. To get the village involved.
No, yeah, I definitely will.
I think the next meeting, generally, or something before that.
Well, we certainly have an opportunity to send out an announcement in our water bill in October.
You're a good kitty. Oh, yeah. You are alive and you are well. And you are a vegetarian. Yes. And you purr and purr and purr. And you never leave me more than 12 inches, right? Folks, we're doing reminiscence. And we're doing the year 1947, the fall of 1947. What were you doing if you were born and alive? In the fall of 1947, Glendora was a sophomore at American International College in Springfield, Massachusetts. And there were 4 required courses that you had to take if you were a sophomore. You had to take economics, you had to take sociology, and you had to take world literature, and I believe you had to take another one. I can't remember whether it was just general science. And then you had one elective. Well, I can't remember what the elective was. And I can't remember what the 4th course was, let alone remember anything that was in them. But the grades were high, and Glendora was called the brain, because everything came so easily because of the superlative background given to students at Classical High School in Springfield, Massachusetts. And the average was 3.7. There were a couple of B's in there. And I lived at home. And my mother liked to play cards, so I would gather my friends and we would play cards in the evening, canasta. I don't think there's much more to tell you in that year, except that I wanted to be a great person, as God created us to be, but I didn't have that connection. I didn't have a church connection, and that's wrong. So you people, have a church connection. The reading of the Bible, the discussion of it, the comradeship and friendship of the people in your congregation. It was a mistake that I didn't have a church affiliation. To set me straight. That was a long time being set straight. And in the summer of that, now it's the summer of 48, I went to work as a waitress at Scarborough Beach, state of Maine, just south of Portland, Maine, on the sandy beaches, and it was at the Atlantic House, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Knight. And there were all college kids there. Some kids were from AIC. Herbert Perry, he grew up to be a minister. He was a night watchman. And Carol. And Betty. I can't remember if we did an employee show or not. I don't think we did. And the routine was to get up at 7 and go do sideboard duty, like make the orange juice. And all of my high school friends were gone. Gone to all of the expensive Ivy League colleges. And then you serve breakfast. And then you'd come home and get in your bathing suit and go down to the beach of the Atlantic Ocean and dive into the waves coming ashore and read the classics and Ben. That's about all. How much money earned? About $300. Oh, Dr. Doty came. Dr. Doty was a professor of history at Union College in Schenectady. And he was from Texas. And he was an interesting man. And I believe he was a vegetarian, and he used to... I did meet him later. I met him later. Well, I don't think we should jump the story. All right. Is there anything else? Anythingelse.com? Can you tell the people a joke? A man called the airlines. He says, I want to make a reservation from San Diego to Mishawaka, Indiana. The clerk says, how do you spell Mishawaka? And he said, never mind, South Bend is close enough. And what did the judge say to the dentist? Do you swear to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth? And the Chinese have a rule on New Year's Day to pay all of their debts of the previous year. Well, they can do that because they don't have Christmas 2 weeks before. And today is Friday the 13th of September, And tonight at sundown, Yom Kippur starts, and a fast starts, and then tomorrow, Saturday, is the Day of Atonement, a day of atoning for all of one's sins, and fasting until sundown Saturday night. And I think I'll do that. I have to go to the Seventh-day Adventist church tomorrow, so I will forego their delicious luncheon, fellowship luncheon, that is vegetarian. And I will atone for my sins all day long. We got rid of the sin of eating meat and causing animals to suffer. So that's a good thing that the Jewish people do. I think I would join in. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And may His face shine upon you and give you peace. Give you the peace and the happiness and the joy of being one with our great Creator. I have a question to ask you. The Earth is the one planet in our solar system that sustains life. Now, do you think that God is going to refashion the other planets so that they will sustain life? What do you mean, Glendora? Well, give the other planets air, water, the right temperature, heat and light, and soil that create life. Do you think God is going to do that with the other planets in our solar system? Sometimes I wonder if the Earth is such a mess, that we have made it such a mess, that to change it around and change it to what it should be would be such confusion and chaos and havoc that it would be hopeless to make it right, so that the Earth will just be done away with and cleaned all up and then start everything over again. Glendora, you know that there's only one thing to do. You are in the present now. You are in the present now. Where are you? The past is gone, the future isn't here, you're in the present. What do? You look at it, you see that it's beautifully run and has been for 14.7 billion years. You see that it's beautifully run. This makes you happy, and this makes you give thanks. This makes you acknowledge it. This makes you own to this with gratitude to this great benefit and to this imposing obligation. Roll it backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I tripped over those. Now you could have gone the other side of the tree. You didn't have to go that side of the tree. It was a dumb thing to do. You should do better. A whole lot better. All right, let's finish the Saturday call. Thank you, God, for paradise. This is paradise. Doris, 90 years old. She was an operator for the New York Telephone Company. No longer exists. But then what does? Except God and love and joy. These are the Saturday calls. Next are the details. Next is the in-mail. And fast all day. It's Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur. Try to fast all day. And atonement. Atonement. Day of Atonement. Atone for your sins. I'm sorry for all the sins I did.
Morning.
Good morning, Doris. How are you, sweetie?
You know what?
What?
Having a very good day because it's a beautiful day outside.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Yes. And you know what? Bless you for calling me. That makes my day.
Oh, what makes your day, dear?
I didn't hear you.
You said, what makes your day?
You calling me.
Oh, my calling you make... Oh, isn't that nice? Well, that's a very easy thing
You
to
know
do.
what? That makes me know you're thinking about me.
And loving you, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's easy enough to do, and the reward is so rich.
Yes, it is.
1, 2, 3 good minutes gives you a whole day.
A whole day.
Yes.
And that's what I like, a whole day.
Yes, Doris. Well, you deserve it.
But thank you.
What's the news around town, honey?
Well, we have a new baby. I'm a great-great-grandma.
That's a great-great-grandma, Doris?
Yeah, because it's my great-granddaughter.
Now, let's see. Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning, your son and your grandson, and then your great-grandson, and now your great-great-grandson. So give me the whole thing from the beginning.
That is my great-great-granddaughter.
And who was her mother?
Her mother was my daughter-in-law. My son met her mother while he was in the service. And he brought her all the way from Kentucky. And the car broke down in New York City. And we had to pack up and go get them when they first came.
Oh,
Because the car said no more, it wouldn't go no more.
is that right? In New York City?
He's in New York City, downtown New York. We had to go and get him.
What an
But that was a
experience.
blessing.
Well, it's a good story, and you've got a great-great-granddaughter. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah. And I haven't seen the baby yet. Only on the computer. They took pictures of him. But I didn't have nobody to took him. I missed my Joseph because he would have taken me over to see that baby. But we don't have a car.
Okay, I think that will work itself out, Doris.
It will.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They'll get together. They'll say, oh, Graham didn't see the baby yet, but I saw him on the computer picture. And he's cute as a button.
Oh.
And I'm going to kiss him to death. Think of me.
Well, I'm happy. That's a great happiness, and we thank God for it.
Yes, indeed. That's what we need. More happiness.
I'm
more
going,
babies.
I'm going to the Seventh-day Adventist church today.
All right. And you have a blessed day.
A family picks me up, a family of mother and father and 3 children, and then
That's wonderful.
we drive to the church and we have Bible study, and then we have a service, and then we have a vegetarian dinner, because you know the Seventh-day Adventists are smart, they're vegetarians.
I know.
And then we sit around and talk, and I get home about 3:30, so it's really the whole day.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we have a beautiful day down here.
Yes, good.
The sun is nice and beautiful, and I pick my head out, and it seems to be kind of warm outside.
Yes, and another thing I wanted to tell you, that for the Jewish people, last night they started a fast, and then today they're going to fast all day until sundown. And yeah, and then all day today they have a day of atonement, where they atone for their sins.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a good deal, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I got a joke for you.
And you know what? When the families all get together, it's a good day.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I have a joke for you.
I'm ready.
The mother said, "Did you thank Mrs. Baxter for the lovely birthday party she gave the children?" And the little girl says, "Well, I was standing in line. I was going to thank her. The girl in front of me thanked her. Mrs. Baxter says, 'Don't mention it,' so I did it."
That's a real good one. Start off my day with laughter.
Okay, my darling. Have a day of atonement, dear.
All right, and you too.
All right,
Enjoy
sweet.
your day, and I'm saying a big prayer for you, because you remembered me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
Bye, my dear.
So long for now.
So long for now. Well, let's go for Lynn Harper. No, that's the old number. Hi, Lynn, at the new telephone number. Hi, Lynn, at the new telephone number.
You have a new telephone number?
No, at your new telephone number.
Oh, yeah. Yep, the old one's long gone.
Yep, and how are the animals like the new place?
Well, so far they're not complaining.
They're complaining?
Nope, they're not complaining.
Oh, good. Good, well.
Yeah, they like it. You know, funny thing, I get up early because I have ballet this morning, so I'm getting ready to go, and I decided, I never watch your show that early, but I decided to see what show was on. And it was a really interesting show. It showed you walking toward the camera, kind of like in snow, and then you bowed to the camera, and then the camera panned around, and then you played a speech on the recorder from somebody and commented on it. Do you know which? You're wearing orange. Does that sound familiar?
Yep, that sounds good, yeah. Isn't that
Yeah, that was
interesting?
really good.
Where do they get these old shows from?
I have no idea.
But that's all right. Yeah, it's okay. You gave it an A. Thank you very much.
Huh. Oh my God, yes, absolutely. It didn't look old. It just looked like an interesting show. I liked it a lot.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. And you will be glad to know that I did call and talk to the woman at San Diego, and I told her about your loyalty and your enthusiasm, and that made her feel good.
Oh, Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
I didn't bother to wait for Bill Putnam. I'll try him some other day and some other month.
Yeah, well, I'm really having nothing but trouble with my television. The old one is working fine. The new one, I made a friend at Time Warner. He comes back on his own time. So he left yesterday thinking everything was fine on the main television. And I found out this morning it's not. The cable disconnected or something. But it doesn't matter because I've got it set for the one upstairs. So, everything's good.
Oh, will he come back and fix it?
Of course, he's become a friend now. His name is Eddie. I tried to pay him. He refused to take anything.
That makes me feel so good that there are kind-hearted people out in San Diego.
1 in a million, I promise you. 1 in a million. When I call him, he says, are you home now? I'll be right there. Oh my God. Don't see that. So anyway, I get the scanning because he has to come back again today for his 4th time.
Thank God for him. Oh, I'm so glad you were favored with somebody like that, dear.
So am I, and he's not even a regular Time Warner employee. He's an independent contractor. His truck just has a pasted-on sign. It isn't like the Time Warner trucks that they have, I mean, I was just lucky to get.
Yeah, a fellow from Comcast in New Jersey tells me that's what they are doing. They do not use their own trucks anymore. They use independent contractors and they rent trucks.
The reason is because they don't want to pay insurance, and personal insurance. They don't want to pay insurance. I guess that's what it is. They don't want to pay medical. They don't want to pay any of the benefits.
Yeah, they don't want to pay.
No
pensions. They don't want to pay pensions.
Oh no, of course not. These guys don't get anything except their hourly.
Yeah.
It's okay with everybody.
Yeah. Yep. There's a Bible passage, Matthew 20, the 20th chapter of Matthew, where this man who owns a vineyard, he goes into the square and he sees people loafing, and he tells them, go work in my vineyard. And they start at 7 in the morning. And then he goes out at noon. Why are you idle? Well, nobody hired us. Well, then go work in my vineyard. He goes out at 3 p.m. and he sees another group, same thing, they go work. And then he goes an hour before sunset, and they go to work. And then it comes pay time, and the vineyard man, he pays everybody the same amount. And the people who've been working all day, they grumble. And the vineyard man says, I promise you a day's wage. He says, that's what you got. He says, I can spend my money the way I want to. And the point that Christ is making, that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Well, after you read it, tell me, do you think that's fair?
You mean me? Do I think it's fair?
Yeah. Doesn't seem right.
Stop and think. That is what's happening in society today. I'm so mad I can't even put 2 words together. Here's the thing. With Obama and that ridiculous Obamacare, there are 30 million people in the United States without insurance, and a great deal of them are malingerers. They don't want to work, they don't work, they collect all kinds of things from the government. So your insurance and my insurance is going to double or triple. All the medical costs have to go high because of these people, and yet we're expected to pay for them to have insurance. It's insane. That's what's happening. So that Matthew passage, it reflects exactly what's happening today.
Really?
The minority paying for the majority. And this country is going to go in the toilet. It is going in the toilet.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
Oh.
It's unbelievable.
Oh.
And yep, it's a shame, but that's the way it is, because I don't know why in the world we're coddling these people.
Yeah.
But I know enough of them. I've seen them. When I lived at the beach, these guys would come down and laugh. They'd say, I collect my unemployment, or I'm on this dole and that dole. They just sit and lay around the beach all day. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with them.
Wow.
Now, there are some people that need help. But you know what? They get the help. They pull themselves up. They start being a member of society, and I think that's fabulous. But we give it to every loser.
Yeah.
And I'm really I live in a state where people come over the border, but some of them work very hard, so, and
Yeah.
some of them are dangerous.